What's up? I'm Ashley, and I'll be giving my theory on the baby goats, human babies, and how it's all connected to Mark and Gemma, and how Lumen is involved in all of it. Let's get into it. First, let's get into the symbolism surrounding goats and baby goats specifically. In many ancient cultures, goats were associated with fertility, abundance, and good luck. Keyword being fertility. Let's not forget that, we'll circle back. In Hinduism, goats are considered a symbol of sacrifice and often used in religious rituals. And in Christianity, the goat was a symbol of sacrifice. It symbolized demonic forces, wicked men, oppressors, and Satan. The Bible depicts goats as deceitful, cunning, and satanic. And this painting definitely gives me those vibes. With that being said, I think the goats represent the Egan family. The part we read about wicked men, I think that represents Kier Egan and James Egan, and just the Egan family as a whole, which could be considered as the oppressors. And that could also be why they call Helena's Innie Helly. She's representing hell. It also could be saying that any working at Lumen is in hell. We haven't seen the mama goat to all those baby goats yet, but wherever she is, I'm sure they're using and abusing her for whatever experiment they're doing. It wouldn't even surprise me if they were putting chips in these goats' heads. I wonder if baby goats were chosen because they call baby goats kids for some reason. Could all this be connected to Eleanor, Dylan's son, and supposedly his two other kids, according to Milchek? Can't trust him. And could it be related to why Mark and Gemma could never get pregnant, allegedly? Because what if they actually did have a baby but never knew? There's a new character in season 2, Miss Wong.
My name is Miss Wong. It's my first day here as deputy manager.
What if she's Mark and Gemma's daughter they never knew about? Yeah, I know the timing, all that, but hear me out. We don't know how long Mark and Gemma were together. It was never explained to us. For all we know, they could have been high school sweethearts, which then would add up to the girl's age, who looks about 12.
Why are you a child?
Because of when I was born.
Mark told Alexa he and Gemma were trying to get pregnant, but never could. Could they have tried IVF and the implant was put inside someone else without their knowledge? Maybe they were even lied to and were told they had a stillbirth, and the child just grew up elsewhere. And you know, they do be snatching babies at birth. And if you haven't seen a Lifetime movie recently, then I don't know what to tell you. So, could Mark be working at Lumen with not just his wife, but his daughter too? And could this all be connected to the baby goats? Remember, the guy did say the goats aren't ready yet.
They're not ready. You can't take them yet. They're not ready. It isn't time.
What exactly does that mean? Are they doing some kind of fertility experiment on the goats? And maybe even the babies too? Remember when Bert tells Irv and Dylan about the rumors in MDR? He tells them, they say, you all have pouches to carry young, and that they each have a larval offspring that will jump out and attack if we get too close. He says larval will eventually eat and replace you. Which brings me back to this painting because there is some cannibalism going on in here. Is this MDR eating themselves? Which brings me to, could they be cloning goats? And I only question that because of this. Larval offspring refers to the immature stage of an animal that occurs after hatching or birth and before the animal reaches its adult form. Larvae are often different in structure from adults and live in different environments. They undergo a rapid period of development called metamorphosis to become adults. Is it NASCAR speed racer back there at Lumen? What they doing? Are they hinting that they're growing these goats at a rapid speed? Maybe even the human babies. Example, Miss Wong. Maybe they've done an experiment on her that's made her grow at a rapid pace, which then would explain her age if Mark and Gemma never knew they were pregnant and it did end up being like a stillbirth or something. I'm throwing out everything. It makes me think, could Miss Wong be a clone of Gemma? I also thought, could Miss Casey not really be Gemma and Gemma is really dead and Miss Casey is the product of a clone? And even though we know from the season 2 trailer that Miss Wong is the new deputy manager, Miss Wong could just be taking on a new job title and not Miss Casey's just because she could be her clone. Because we know Miss Casey tells Mark that Lumen has a new wellness director and that she's retiring at the end of their session. So we'll probably be seeing a new character for that. It's just that this whole retirement thing makes me think of that whole Larval offspring thing. And I'm like, did Miss Casey get eaten? Even though I'm pretty sure she didn't, I'm just saying, that's just how my brain works. But this also reminds me of the time Helly's outie, Helena, tells her she's not a person.
I am a person. You are not. I make the decisions. You do not.
Could this be a clue about the cloning? Could the people working at Lumen and in MDR all be clones? Could this whole thing be connected to Devin's baby, Eleanor? I'm not sure just how yet. I haven't been able to put it all together, but this could be a reason why Mrs. Selvig was so interested in Devin's baby. I find it interesting the first thing she ever says to Devin is, and I quote, "You had a vaginal birth. Yes?" Unquote. Now, why does it matter? Y'all doing something extra special for the women who have a vaginal birth than the ones that don't and have a C-section? What's going on? I also find it interesting that Mrs. Selvig is good with babies. Where she learned that at? Maybe because Lumen has a secret room they keep babies in? Are they IVF babies? Are they stolen babies that they do experiments on? I think there was some foreshadowing in episode 9 with them thinking Mrs. Selvig / Cobell took Eleanor. They could be hinting at the fact that Mark and Gemma's baby was stolen from them, like I mentioned before, with their maybe being a stillbirth. Or maybe they were just hinting at the fact that Eleanor is about to get snatched up. A line that sticks out to me is James Egan telling Helena once they get the chip, they'll all be Kier's children. Now, what that mean? Do they plan on putting a chip inside of everyone from birth? And are they testing this process out on the goats? But I do think fertility is involved in some way, and that there's a chance that Miss Wong could be Mark and Gemma's daughter, especially with all this subtle hinting with children. The baby goats, Eleanor being born and potentially playing a bigger role, the confusion on just how many kids Dylan G has, and Mark and Gemma trying for a baby for so long, but still not able to get pregnant. But y'all let me know your thoughts on this theory down in the comments so we can talk about it. And if you haven't already and want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.
Why are you a child?
Because of when I was born,